Why was Tony Buzbee barred? And it says the decision to bar Tony Buzbee from practicing law in Southern District Court of New York was not solely due to the dismissal of the case, but according to legal analyst Megan Cuniff, who I think is being paid by Rock Nation in some kind of way, because she's always on their side. This journalist, who actually, to give you some context, right now she's going back and forth with 50 Cent about a bet. So a bet about ASAP Rocky's case, and she lost apparently, and 50 wants her to pay and all of this. So, you know, that's going on. That's Megan Cuniff, if you heard of her. She's a journalist, and she's in the middle of some 50 Cent beef right now. But the ban was a result of Buzbee's failure to obtain the necessary permission before submitting his application for admission to the district court in January. And then it goes on to say that this ban could affect a lot of those Diddy cases that Tony Buzbee filed as well. Now you read into all that, and it's like, wow, Tony Buzbee barred, and then this is going on. He might not never be able to practice law in New York again, and maybe anywhere. And it was like everybody was tripping. And then before you can wrap your mind around that, Tony Buzbee responds via his Instagram with receipts. And the crazy part is, y'all, this story about Tony Buzbee being barred was picked up by major news outlets. Not just, you know, this ain't something some TikToker said or YouTube or a podcaster. This is major media publications ran with this story, that he was barred. And so here was Tony Buzbee's response via his Instagram page. And if you don't know that Tony Buzbee had an Instagram page, it is just his name, Tony Buzbee. Type that in Instagram and you'll find his page. And I quote Tony Buzbee: "I receive many press inquiries and make no effort to respond to most. I prefer rather to make a one-time general statement and let the various entities use that statement as they see fit." He goes on to say, "Over the past week, I've gotten multiple inquiries from friends and colleagues expressing concern and asking why I have been barred from practicing law in New York State and offering their assistance. I myself have seen several press agencies, some borderline legitimate, reporting that same trash. Let me be clear. I'm licensed to practice law in New York. I'm in good standing with the state bar and have always been. Although I prefer Texas, I'm proud of the legal work we are doing in New York. Don't believe the clickbait or dramatic headlines. Most of what's reported nowadays is pure bunk by those with an agenda." And then in this Instagram post, Tony Buzbee put his credentials from the Appellate Division of the Supreme Court of State of New York, Third Judicial Department. Says Anthony Glenn Buzbee was duly licensed and admitted to practice as an attorney and counsel at law in all the courts of this state. And this was all the way back in January 17, 2019. He has duly taken and subscribed the oath of office prescribed by law, has been enrolled in roles of attorneys and counselors at law on file in this office. And then he goes on to say, in witness where I have set my hand in the city of Albany on January 29th, 2025, signed by the clerk of court. So Tony Buzbee dropped the receipts. Now, do I need any more reasons? And now, mind you, no, now I don't know. I'm sure they'll probably pick this story up today, maybe. But as fast as they picked up the story saying he was barred, there are literally no articles as of yet that detail Tony Buzbee's response. So this right here is why people are running to YouTube and podcasts and different independent sources for their news, because it has got to the point where if you're not getting it from the horse's mouth, you can't even trust some of these big publications. And you don't need me to tell you that. Tony Buzbee just said it. And he posted his credentials to prove that all